Hello everybody, it is Xorro. I know it feels weird to say that after dropping the TVR, but I'm rolling with it at this point. Anyways, hi, how are y'all doing? Today, I figured it would be a fun idea to kind of tackle this interesting little question I had regarding the Super Bowl just recently with Kendrick Lamar performing. And it kind of sparked the idea of like, hey, what if there was like an EDM act that performed at the Super Bowl? I believe we had like Tiesto, I believe, or was it Cascade? One of the two. They did it a few years back, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of like speculate, oh hey, what other EDM acts would you want to see at the Super Bowl? Like, which one would you want to see perform live at like the halftime show or something? And you'll notice very quickly that I changed the name of the series from TVR Asks to Xorro Asks. And you might be wondering, well, are there any like changes to the show outside of the name? One change. One very specific change. I am the change. Yes, you heard that right. All episodes from now on will be video recorded. This is my phone, so we're just going to work with it. But yeah, so today's question. What kind of EDM acts would you want to see at the Super Bowl? And yeah, that's really it. You know the drill. Best answers get featured in the video. Let's go! Okay, first answer comes from Bulba. Realistically, I feel like the biggest electronic adjacent artist that has a shot of performing at the Super Bowl is Charli XCX, even though her stuff is more electronic pop, but still amazing. You know, I hate to be that guy, but I still have yet to listen to the entire extent of Brat. That's not to say I don't want to, but yeah, I feel like she makes a ton of sense for the Super Bowl, especially if, you know, like next year she is still like really huge and everyone's talking about her. Like, I think she has a big shot come 2026 maybe. From Zadie Enjoyer, I'm going to go ahead and say Skrillex, one of the most likely options. So many versatile songs and collaborations with various pop or hip-hop artists such as Bieber or Missy Elliott that he could bring out to perform with him. Who knows, maybe he would play some Scary Monsters and Nice Sprite era songs. Honestly, a Skrillex halftime show would be super cool. He could play like some old stuff like Bangarang, or like you said, some Scary Monsters and Nice Sprite stuff, and he can play a ton of new stuff from like Quest of Fire or something. I don't know how, like, in terms of like the mass Super Bowl audience, I don't know how they would take it though, because like it's very like non-vocal for the most part. Like a lot of it's very like production heavy. But disregarding that, I think Skrillex would be a really fun halftime show, actually. And like you said, he could bring out guests like Bieber or Missy Elliott. He could bring out like Sway Lee for something like Too Bizarre. The possibilities are really endless with the guy. Unknown Halo spam music, Halo ranks. If Crankdat or Skrillex had a chance of doing that, that shit would be absolutely fucking insane. Yeah, Crankdat at a halftime show would be incredibly wild, considering his status. Not to say like he's the absolute smallest artist in the world, but like compared to someone like Skrillex or Charli XCX or like Kendrick Lamar, the one who just performed, that's an interesting order to that's kind of a tall order. I would really be interested to see what that looks like. It's going to be very dubsteppy. It would actually be a huge opportunity for his Monster Cat stuff to be spotlighted on a stage like the Super Bowl. Could you imagine that? Especially since we have to remember Monster Cat is a Canadian music label, and having something at the Super Bowl, a very much American show, would be pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first prototype says, I hope Karma Fields gets a shot at it. They are just so good when it comes to their older music. Karma Fields is an interesting pick for sure, and this is coming from someone who hasn't really listened to a ton of their newer stuff. I have like dived into certain songs and stuff, but I don't know how that would go. I don't think that would be very well received by most people. And I'm talking like whether you're a fan of football or the Super Bowl or you're just there for the music. I don't really think that would go well. I'm sure some of the songs would bang for sure. But in terms of like a halftime show performance or something like that, I just don't think that would really work out in the end, in my opinion. It just seems like a weird and unusual like combination, one that doesn't really feel like it would work on stage. But who knows, maybe they'll do it one day. Maybe they'll bring out an artist similar to Karma Fields and I'll be proven completely wrong. The possibilities are really endless. Like, they really are. Oh, here's a bit of a long one. Okay, I'm not an American or a big sports fan, so I don't know how the Super Bowl is like, so I'm just going to go with an artist I'd like to hear live, and I also think would be nice for an event of that scale. Infected Mushroom. They are a big name, so it's not that unrealistic to hear them at the Super Bowl, and their music is intense, so you can count on them being hype. Kazabubu? More of just the same, and Cookie from Space must go hard live. Maybe a little unrealistic because I doubt the majority of people who attend the Super Bowl are Psytrance fans. Yeah, kind of the similar argument I made with Karma Fields. Although it is kind of justified here because Psytrance is very much a live setting type of genre of EDM, whereas Karma Fields, I don't really think that would kind of go well. But with Infected Mushroom, that could be actually really interesting. Just a lot of like hyper energetic, very like almost bassy music, but not like in the general sense of bass where it's very loud and obnoxious, but like, you know what I mean. And that's coming from someone who isn't even that big of an Infected Mushroom fan. So, I mean, I would watch it for sure. Last but not least, Odessa makes the most sense to me. They could really make a banger performance. Speaking of duos, Odessa also makes a lot of sense to me. Again, not a discography that I've dived into too much, but I've heard very good things, and they make a ton of like very like, I don't want to say commercial music, but like stuff that appeals to a lot of people. On a stage like the Super Bowl, that could be really cool. I'd be really interested as to what songs they bring to that table. I would also be really interested to see how much bigger of a name they would be, because Odessa's pretty big as they are right now. So I wonder what the Super Bowl would kind of like, or how the Super Bowl would inflate that popularity, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all the questions. I didn't really get a ton here, and the ones I did get, some of them were kind of duplicates, so this episode's going to be kind of shorter than most. With that in mind, I kind of dig this format of doing like a live recording. It feels a little more personal. I've always wanted to do like live videos, so I've wanted to put like sort of like something for you guys to look at in case my face gets too ugly to look at for more than 5 minutes. I've been collecting vinyls recently, so you'll see I have Kendrick's recent GNX up there. There's Good Kid, Mad City behind it, and then the Zed album from last year, and then Mr. Bill from last year. There's a few Coldplay ones up there too. I'm still expanding my vinyl horizons, and at some point I'll definitely do like a vinyl collection video, just kind of show you all the ones that I end up getting at some point. Maybe I'll make it like an end of the year thing. But yeah, that was the first episode of Xorro Asks. What'd you guys think? Do you like this new video style that I'm gonna try and implement in future episodes? Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for participating this time, and I'll talk to you later.